Following Ches Halacha Yud Aleph in Hilchos Melochim. The Rambam says, "Kol Mekabel Sheva Mitzvos." Whoever accepts the 7 mitzvahs was a non-Jew and is a Soison and is careful to do them. Rae Gann Family. These are the righteous Gentiles, right? And we'll go down to the Hilchos Yesodei HaTorah. According to Rambam, he has a portion of the world to come. That's if he accepted them, and he keeps them, because this was written by God in Torah. Vidi'enu al yidei Moshe Rabbeinu, and he informed us to Moshe Rabbeinu shebenei Noach mikodim nitztavu b'hem, that the Bnei Noach had this obligation prior to Kabul to Sinai. Also, Oison b'Bnei Achawaz Hadas, but he does it because it's of his human logic. Ein ze ger Toshav, he's not a ger Toshav, ein mechsidim u'so'ilam, he's not a righteous Gentile. Loim, and not loim mechachomeim, and not one of their wise men. Now, what does he have to do with? He has to accept it and do them because God commanded it. The narration says, this is the Rambam writes of his own logic. And Tshuva's V'shav Kohen, he says, Ger Toshav, who accepted before 3 Chaverim and 7 mitzvahs b'nei Noach, and we know that he doesn't serve idol worship, is commanded we are commanded to support him. And his wine is not forbidden to be benefited from. That's one benefit. That's one aspect of a ger toshav. If he wasn't accepted before the 3 chaverim, he's like a goy. Therefore, if we don't know he doesn't serve idol worship, his wine is forbidden to be benefited from, even if he's not going to serve idols. But there's no obligation to keep him alive because he didn't accept the 7 mitzvahs. Halacha is like the Rachomim, he's not a ger toshav until he accepts all the mitzvahs b'nei Noach, and we know that he doesn't serve idols. Now he explains that the Rambam says you have to accept before 3 chaverim. That's regarding the mitzvah of requiring us to support him. What it says, if he accepts it and is careful that he is a righteous Gentile, has a portion of the Olam Haba, Shev Kohen agrees, concur that he has to accept it before 3 Dayanim, judges. Shev Kohen explains that since Moshe Rabbeinu was commanded to force all the people of the world to accept the 7 commandments, therefore it has to be before 3, just like accepting any convert to Judaism that needs 3, as we find in Romans 46b. And even though that the reason that a ger needs 3 is because it says mishpat, so too a ger toshav. And he adds that even though a ben Noach is obligated in the 7 mitzvahs, still you have to accept them. Only in front of the Bezin of Yisrael, as we find in Avodah Zorah 2b, that in the future, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will tell to the Goyim, the 7 mitzvahs, that you accept it. How come we didn't keep them? And in Bava Kama, it says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu said that the 7 mitzvahs, that they accepted on themselves and that they did not keep, it would seem that they have to keep it, because without accepting, they have to accept it, because without accepting them, therefore, they're not commanded. So there's an aspect of doing a mitzvah without a command, which is different than doing a mitzvah with command. And the Hilchos Yesodei HaTorah writes a reason for this, because we say in Bava Kama, HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw the 7 mitzvahs, they accepted on themselves, they didn't keep them, and therefore he made them not obligatory as far as keeping them, but if you transgress them, they transgress. So the Gemara questions what they benefited because they didn't accept it. They get benefit, they don't have to keep it, and the answer is that they will be punished when they don't keep it. If they do keep it, they don't get any reward. So the Gemara says we learned even a goy who learned Torah is like a Kohen Godol. So you see, he does get benefit even though he's not obligated to learn Torah. The Gemara says they don't receive the reward of somebody who's commanded to do, but rather like somebody who's not commanded. According to this, anyone who didn't accept to do them, even though he keeps them, he is among the nations of the world that even when they keep them, it's not something that they're commanded to do, and they're not from the righteous of the world. And therefore, they have to accept it because God commanded it, and then they leave the situation of being almost olam, and it's like his mitzvah v'oisa. He is considered, once he accepts it, somebody who's commanded to do it, and therefore he gets the status, when he keeps it, of being the righteous of the nations. Now, when Rambam writes the righteous of the nations, against the Mishnah cites Sanhedrin 105a. According to Eliezer, the Umas do not have a portion of the world to come. Rabbi Yeshua, they do have a portion. And the Rambam passes like Rabbi Yeshua. They consider from the righteous of the world when they accepted the 7 mitzvahs, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu commanded them, Moshe to do so. Therefore, they receive a portion of the world to come. Also, in Hilchos Tshuva, he codifies, so too, the righteous of the world, they have a portion of the world to come, and they are the two the Kesef Mishnah cites, but the halachos like Rabbi Yeshua. Here he mentions the Chassidic Oimus are those who accept the 7 mitzvahs and keep them, as in Hilchos Eidos. At the Goyim, you don't have to save them, but you don't have to just kill them. And those who are righteous, they have a portion of the world to come. And this is a bit bewildering because in Hilchos Yesodei he writes, how do you accept a ger tzedek, a real convert to Judaism? That we let him know the punishment, so too we let them know reward. So we let them know that by doing the mitzvahs they will have a portion of the world to come. And we should know that the world to come is only for righteous, and they're Yisrael. So wait a second, if we're talking about converts, we tell them it's only for the Jewish people. How can you say here that the non-Jews have a portion of the world to come as well? It's printed in the name of the Peirush HaMeir that there it means to say regular non-Jews do not have a portion. It's not referring to somebody who has converted to be a dweller of Eretz Yisrael, who does have a portion. But the Rivaz here writes that there are those who cause the right that the words of the Rambam that the nations of the world do have a portion is not Gan Eden, because somebody who's uncircumcised cannot get into Gan Eden, as we find in Eruvin 19a. And it says, and the sign for that is it says, Kol Oira, by Pesach, no uncircumcised shall eat thereof. And the Ger Toshev, since he's not circumcised, will not have a portion of the world to come. And even though it says he has a portion of the world to come, it's not in Gan Eden. Rabbi Margolius, in his comments on the Zerach Chodosh, other places, cites Zerach Chodosh, a goy that will do tshuva, be careful from doing sins. For this he will have a portion of the world to come. But not with the Jews, but a separate area by itself. And this is because he has to be separate because in his physical being is a tumah, and even though there will be the Holy Spirit within them, and his life is holy, still, therefore, he will not be in the same area as Bnei Yisrael. Rabbi Margolius cites a Tosfos in Avodah Zarah 5a, the name of Machon Nesher HaGodol Einam Guf Echad, that even the physical being of a Jew and a non-Jew are different. And he writes the words of the Rambam here, that if somebody accepts the 7 mitzvahs and is careful to do them, he's from the righteous of the world, and he does have a portion of the world to come, but there's a separate section for them.